When one thinks of the town of Negombo, what immediately springs to mind is fishing, seafood, and beachside hotels. But there is much more to this coastal town. Negombo is also a major commercial hub in the country, with easy access to Colombo through the airport expressway. The name Negombo is a Portuguese derivation from the corruption of the Tamil name Near Colombo. Negombo has always been a fishing port and harbour, with its shallow waters providing the perfect anchorage for vessels. Negombo became a key port along with Kalpitiya, Puttalam, Kaluthara and Gaul, from which the Sri Lankan kingdoms conducted trade with foreign countries. The Portuguese ousted the Jaffna kingdom and conducted the cinnamon trade via this coastal hub. It was during this period that the people of Negombo, predominantly Buddhist and Hindu, converted to Catholicism. The Dutch captured Negombo in 1646 from the Portuguese and continued to trade in cinnamon. By the time the British took over the country, the cinnamon trade had declined due to competition from China and hostilities towards the Dutch from the Kandyan kings. Negombo is famed for its fishing and trade in fresh catch. The lagoon and outlying harbour areas are teeming with boats scurrying back and forth. The morning is the busiest when you visit the area of Munakkara, just off the city centre. It's a sight not to be missed and can be taken in from the Munakkara bridge. These boats are preparing or sailing out to the high seas in the hopes of a bountiful catch. In sharp contrast towards mid-morning, the outrigger canoes or catamarans serenely sail out at a leisurely pace. These canoes stick close to the Negombo beach and fish exclusively for shrimp, which is abundant in the rock bed below. The fishermen in Negombo live in poverty, with poor housing and sanitary conditions. The modest catch collected in very difficult conditions and weather often keeps them in makeshift housing throughout their lives. The fish market, or the Lellama, is the trading hub for all the catch that is brought in by the boats. A visit to one of these markets will enable you to purchase the freshest fish, shrimp or even crab. The adjoining beach is a hub of activity, with the nets being sorted and cleaned for the next journey out to sea. Meanwhile, fish are cleaned and laid out on coir mats to be sun-dried. These dehydrated and dried fish are then sold and make a beautiful addition to a tasty curry. The Negombo Lagoon, which is the centre of all fishing activity, is a shallow, semi-enclosed water body with lots of natural resources. The mangrove swamps and marshes are a haven for a diverse species of water birds. The lagoon, a major tourist attraction, has boating tours to cater to the influx of visiting foreigners. In addition to being fed by small rivers, the lagoon is connected to the Dutch Canal, also known as the Hamilton Canal. Though the Portuguese explored and were the first to start developing canals around Negombo, the Dutch in the 18th century began systematically constructing a set of structures, dams and canals to enhance the business viability of the inland waterways. They hoped to drain out seawater as well as use the canals as a mode of transport for cinnamon. The British then constructed the Hamilton Canal, which ran parallel to the old Dutch Canal. This canal, which commences near the estuary of the Maha-Oya in Kochikade, winds its way down through Negombo before ending at the mouth of Crow's Island in Colombo. The canal was built to drain out the tidal saltwater from the Muthurajavala marsh, but in fact had the opposite effect, with water flowing in from the Negombo Lagoon and the Kalani River. Another legacy from the Dutch period is the old fort close to the beach. Though once a grand structure in scale and design, the fort is now just a nondescript entrance to the Negombo prison. It's a protected site by the archaeological department, though there is very little which remains to be seen. There are Sinhalese, Tamils, Muslims, Sri Lankan Malays and Sri Lankan Chinese residing in Negombo. However, the predominant religion practiced is Roman Catholicism, with almost 2/3 of the population practicing Christianity. There are many churches in Negombo, and due to this being the predominant faith, it's sometimes referred to as Little Rome. One of these beautiful structures is St. Mary's Church, just a few kilometers from the city centre. This cathedral has lovely architecture. Also worth visiting is the Buddhist Anguruka Mulla Temple. While being just 300 years old and with a modest exterior, the main temple chamber is covered with murals and sculptures depicting stories from Buddhism as well as anecdotes from kingdoms of the past. But wait, there's more. Negombo is one of the places to witness the cultivation and harvesting of coconut tree sap for a brew called toddy. The main tourist street of Lewis Place could get you that souvenir or just provide you with a respite from your sightseeing schedule. The sea around Negombo provides you ample opportunities for water sports, from jet skiing to shipwreck diving. To cover Negombo without mentioning the expansive beaches with calm seas would be remiss. Hotels in the area locate themselves as close as possible to this pristine ocean frontage. You can also catch the locals engaged or getting ready for their next fishing expedition, be it out to sea, on the beach, or simply enjoy a cocktail. With just a 15-minute drive to the Bandaranaike International Airport, which would be your arrival and departure point, it's no wonder that tourists make this location a first and last night stay on their itinerary when visiting this amazing isle.